Namaskaram, Sadhguru. Recently, the Sadhana Pada program was announced, which involves being in the ashram for 6 months. I have a few friends who are interested in this. Could you please elaborate a little more on what this involves?
See, many of your friends, whoever they are, they may not be ready for 24-hour sadhana for 6 months. So we will structure it according to individual needs, we will look at them and decide. Maybe first 1 month everybody will go through a common practice, but after that we will decide who should go through how much. Sadhana is not just sitting eyes closed and doing something. Sadhana is also learning to work. Sadhana is also learning to move among people with least amount of friction. It's very important. You may be meditating as much as you want, but if you're all thorns on the outside and move around, the other people will make sure your meditation doesn't work after some time. Don't underestimate those people. Yes, do not underestimate the people around you. If you walk around with thorns all the time, I'm meditator like this, they will make sure your meditation doesn't work after some time. So, sadhana is also about moving in the world with least amount of friction. I've said this many times. In the Far East Asian cultures, an enlightened being is always referred to as an enchi. Enchi means a circle. The wheels of your car and every other vehicle is round in shape. Why? Because it's a shape which moves with least amount of resistance. A triangular wheel would definitely be far more jazzy. Hello? Just look at your car, how it would look. But least amount of resistance. So this is very important, that when you walk about in the world, you move with least amount of resistance. Otherwise, outside situations will occupy you for the rest of your life. If you create little friction here, you will see this friction will keep you occupied for the rest of your life. It will not allow you to focus on anything else. So sadhana also means this. So they will volunteer in various aspects, they will serve in the schools, they will go and work with the rivers, they will do many things, but all of it used as a sadhana for your growth in 6 months' time. In your body, you must be stronger and younger. In your mind, you must be sharper and much more stable. In your emotions, you must be very lucid. In your energies, you must be intense and stable. We want to bring these kind of people to the world. These are not people who are going to come and live in the ashram forever, but we want to open the doors of ashram so that 6 months of being here, when they go back, they must go back as much more stable and clear and wise life. It's very important. Clarity and stability, these two things are vital to human life, that you see things clearly and you're stable. Stability is one thing, or lack of stability is one thing, which is costing humanity tremendously. So much intelligence, so much talent, so much genius is all down the drain simply because people don't have stability, no balance. Above all, balance is most important. When you have balance, you have freedom. You know, you're riding your bicycle for the first time. You can't do a thing, but you're well balanced, you're hands-free, riding around, you can whistle and do all this on the bicycle, isn't it? Hello? Balance gives you freedom. That is so with your mental nature, with your mind, with your body, with your energies, everything. If this is balanced, it gives you enormous freedom to do things, to do your life the way you want it. So we want to see that people who are working in large businesses, people who are in the government, people who are in important positions, take this 6-month break and invest upon their own growth, clarity and balance. If these two things happen, we will have better human beings and a better world, for sure. So this is what this sadhana pada is about. And some of them were asking me, but if I want to take a break from my corporation, will you give me a certificate? I'll give you a certificate, what's the problem with a piece of paper? I never collected any of my certificates ever. But it didn't mean anything to me, but if it means something to your corporation, we will write a certificate for you, what is the problem? But the important thing is, have you brought little more clarity and balance into your life? This is important. How effective a life you will be is essentially determined by what is the level of clarity you have and how much balance you have. This will allow you the freedom to traverse this life as you wish. Otherwise, naturally you will lock yourself up in your box.
So, the power of inclusiveness. Now, if we go back in the world, say 30 years, we see that there were many signs of opening. Walls were coming down. Many initiatives were taken to open up the world, which I think brought many benefits. If we look around the world now, there are many signs of closure. Walls are being constructed. There are many policy measures being taken by many governments, closing borders to persons, closing borders to goods. I wonder if I may ask how you see all this.
See, yes, it's true, you're seeing that as a global situation, but we need to understand this. Bringing down walls without bringing down economic disparity is not going to work. When we brought down walls, then itself we should have understood that we must strive to bring down disparity in the world. No man or woman wants to leave their home and go somewhere else to some strange land and live there just for survival. Nobody wants to do that. But it is estimated that in the next decade, there could be about 1.7 to 1.8 billion people moving or migrating. When that many people start migrating, your wall is not going to work anyway. Wall will work when they're in a few thousands, maybe a million, but when they go to a billion, your wall is not going to work, it's going to be a tragedy. Because now you see a stream of people coming. Well, can every nation just open up its borders and say, welcome, live on the streets? Not possible. Yes? So the thing to do is, which I've been striving to do and I'm failed to do, is in the last 25 years I've been trying to bring some key people in the world together so that this initially we started as 1%.com. And I try to create a board, and every time we are about to do it, some warlike situation comes and some nations back away and it never happened, all right? The idea was just this, 1% of what we invest in our defense forces, as we call them, arms and armaments, what we invest, if we contribute and we institute a board of people who are from responsible businesses to be given as soft loans to these businesses to start enterprises in impoverished societies where it's not profitable to do business. A business will naturally try to do business where it's most profitable. You cannot ask them to go and do business somewhere in one corner of Asia or Africa because they are looking at their profitability. Essentially, this attitude is because money is expensive. The money is expensive. If you give them a softer money, which is not expensive, for a gestation period of 12 to 20 years and very soft kind of cushion for them to develop an enterprise, develop the talent and create industry and business in impoverished societies, the reason for these people to migrate will go. Instead of making that investment, you invest in putting up walls, you will see walls will work to a certain point. I'm not even saying it's wrong, Because the sovereignty of a nation is essentially determined by the geographic borders. I am not saying every nation can open up and let people inside, it's not possible to do that. But you will not be able to control it this way, nor is it very humane to do it that way. So the only way is, in some way we must see how economic disparity is lowered. We cannot level it absolutely, it's very, very far away, leveling it. But if we strive in the next 10 years, if there's enough investments going into various parts of the world from where people are migrating, if you start businesses there, if you start enterprises there, if you start economic activity there, then the need for them to go elsewhere to make a living could be reduced and migrations could be controlled, because nobody wants to leave their homeland if they can make a living there.